Sermon for the feast day of Barnabas the Apostle. The lectionary for today refers to Barnabas the Apostle. The Apostle's nickname for Barnabas was the Encourager. It would be more accurate to call him Barnabas the Risk Taker, or in modern terms, Barnabas the Change Agent. But even that is insufficient, because he was also Barnabas the Joyful. Barnabas had the gift of discernment, and when he discerned the Holy Spirit at work, this filled him with deep joy. Carries the Message translation from Acts 11. Barnabas was enthusiastic and confident in the Holy Spirit's ways. As soon as Barnabas arrived in Antioch, he saw that God was behind and in it all. He threw himself in with them, urging them to stay with it the rest of their lives. This morning, I'd like to look at different aspects of Barnabas' work and his character, starting with Barnabas the Risk Taker. Saul had been persecuting Christians with confidence and fervor and vigor. He had them dragged out of their houses. He followed them to Damascus. Of course, with hindsight, we can see that this dispersal of the very first Christians was really important for the spread of the gospel beyond Jerusalem and beyond the first recipients of Christ's words, the Jews. But the early Christians did not have the benefit of hindsight. They hated and feared Saul. Even after his conversion, they plotted to kill him. The only way he got safely out of Damascus was being lowered in a basket over the wall, because the Christians were waiting for him at all the gates. Barnabas considered the evidence and made up his own mind. He went to Antioch to see for himself. In Antioch, Barnabas recognized the work of the Holy Spirit in the conversion of Saul and persuaded the followers of Jesus in Jerusalem to accept him. Even so, Saul was quickly packed off to Tarsus from Jerusalem, and it was Barnabas who fetched him there and traveled with him to Antioch and to Cyprus. Barnabas' support for and faith in a person was an enduring thing. Making the circle bigger was another of Barnabas' gifts. He was the one who was sent to Antioch to examine the new and shocking idea of preaching, teaching, and healing among people who were not Jewish. Of course, this was not a brand new idea. This was what Jesus had done. But the apostles were all Jewish, and the first converts were observant Jews who had come to Jerusalem to celebrate the original Pentecost, the Feast of Weeks. And so the pattern was set. It was Barnabas, the joyful disruptor, who saw the work of the Holy Spirit in the conversion of people who were not Jewish. He encouraged it, reassured the Council of Jerusalem that it was a good thing, and then participated in the work himself. The next problem that arose was what to do with these non-Jewish converts. Did they need to be circumcised? Did they need to obey all the Jewish laws, such as the dietary laws? Again, it was Barnabas who joined the people like Peter, arguing for a change in the rules, an expansion of ideas, a much broader inclusion. What lessons does the warm-hearted and adventurous Barnabas offer us today? The first is to discern the work of the Holy Spirit when things change. But how do we know when something is of God? I have no answer to that question. We know that Peter changed his mind about the dietary laws when he dreamed of a blanket let down from heaven, filled with both the acceptable and the forbidden animals. We are not told what made Barnabas change his mind. Part of it must have been a willingness to accept new ideas, a willingness to see that deeply cherished ideas and beliefs that had guided his whole life, like the dietary laws, could be replaced by other ideas, a willingness to believe that people could change, and a willingness to speak up and act defend and implement change. Confronted with change he believed was from the Holy Spirit, Barnabas said a resounding and enthusiastic yes. I think this spirit is captured best in more modern times by the Teilhard de Chardin phrase, zest for life. And so the challenge to us from today's readings is all about saying yes to change. Change in the way we perceive other individuals. Change in the way we think about groups of people. Change in our ideas, beliefs, and religious practices. And if we are to learn from Barnabas, we can't begrudge the change or accept it in a grudging manner. It's not sufficient to say or think, oh well, if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. And then we have to go beyond even wholehearted acceptance to delight, brimming with joy and the Holy Spirit, as the message describes Paul and Barnabas, moving cheerfully on to another town after being imprisoned, beaten up, or otherwise made unwelcome, which probably wasn't all that easy. I don't think change is easy for anyone. And as we get older, it doesn't get any easier, does it? But Barnabas offers us a particular kind of change which recognizes the Holy Spirit as a change agent, change to which we can say yes, change with joy, which is perhaps quite enticing.